Welcome back traders to another year ahead video, and today we're going to focus on Bitcoin, oil and JP225. Bitcoin's 2026 outlook hinges on structural adoption and regulatory clarity, with the anticipated Clarity Act and Fed rate cuts setting the stage for renewed bullish momentum. Oil faces persistent downside risk as oversupply dominates and non-OPEC output grows, leaving deeper OPEC plus cuts or geopolitical shocks as the only catalyst for a sustained recovery. Japan's equity strength is underpinned by robust corporate earnings and pro-growth policies, while gradual BOJ tightening and yen stabilization will shape the market's trajectory in 2026. So having a look at Bitcoin for our start today, we can see that the market is holding above this long-term upturn line that is started back in 2023 and is currently holding slightly below the 90,000 area. We can see that over the 2025 year, the market it reached a new record peak at 126,163, but it also fell deeply towards the 80,600. But as long as the market remains above the 50 and the 200-day SMAs, then the outlook remains bullish, and the next resistance area may come from this region here of 98,155 to 102,100, which is also overlapping with the 100-day SMA. Now, if there is a sustained climb above this region here, then the market it may revisit the 116,400 area ahead of the record peak of 126,163. Then even higher the market it may test the next round numbers such as 127 and 130,000. On the other hand, if there is a drop below this upturn line, and even lower if there is a closing day below the 80,600 region, which is still standing since November of 2024, then the market it may test the 74,500 ahead of the 200 SMA at 56,500. Now, having a look at the technical oscillators, the stochastic is heading upwards after a bounce of the oversold region. However, the RSI is flattening slightly beneath the 50 region. Now, having a look at oil prices, we can see that the market is still developing within this downward sloping channel since 2022. And also we can see that during 2025, the market is fluctuating between the 80 region and the 5660 support level. So if this downside momentum continues, then the market it may visit the lower band of this channel around the 51.50, and even lower it may test the round number of 50, which has been unbreakable since 2021. Even lower, the next support is coming around the 45 region. And if the market continues the downside structure, then the outlook it will turn to a strongly bearish one. Alternatively, if the price rebounds again at the 56.60 region, then it may test the previous peak around the 63 area, even higher the 50-day SMA around 65, and the resistance at 67. Now, the RSI is holding below the 50 region. Also, the MACD is standing beneath its trigger and zero line, so both of them are confirming this downside structure in the market. And now having a look at JP225, we can see that it had a strong bullish movement during this year. It's currently fluctuating around the 50,000 region, which is the 161.8% Fibonacci extension level of the down leg from July to August of 2024. So if the price remains above this psychological number, then the market it may test the previous high around the 52,620, and even higher it may test the next round numbers such as 55,000 and even higher the 60,000, which I think it will be a strong psychological mark for traders, and even higher the 261.8% Fibo at 62,000. However, a slight below the 58,000, then the market, it may create a bearish wave testing the 44,250 and even lower the next support region around the 40,900 and 41,700. But the outlook here, it may turn to a more neutral one, and I think only a break below the 200 DSMA around the 34,600, it will change it to a more bearish one. Now the stochastic is pointing upwards, but is still below the 80 level, and the RSI is flattening slightly beneath the 70 region, suggesting that we may see a weakening momentum in the market. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching and have a great day.